but they don't like animals, and I'm like,
I don't understand that.
I question everything about you if you don't like animals. What you're lacking somehow. Like, what's wrong with you that you? How can you not like a cute animal or even an ugly animal? How can you not like an animal?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Like, I've literally never met an animal I didn't like. I've met some that I didn't want to get like up close to because, he's playing a game. He's watching the Bigfoot porn.
No, I'm not.
He's shielding his phone.
I got my red rocket out.
From the glare. From the fucking... God.
But yeah, no, don't get me wrong, I've seen some animals that I don't...
ASMR, this is the sound of me flipping everyone at the table off.
We don't hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I don't necessarily like snakes or spiders.
No, but you know how I feel about mice. But I can also objectively look at them and go, they're fucking cute.
Well, your possum is a big one,
and I have seen a couple that were kind of cute.
Like mice scare
from a distance.
Me with their rapid little jerky movements because my startle reflex.
Right,
but like objectively, they're fucking adorable. Like, I don't want them to touch me. Keep it over there. Live in someone else's house, but...
Yeah, I've never understood how someone can not like animals. That's never made sense to me. It's like, you must be
okay, I want to
broken.
know, since we
got time.
Something that came up last night, and Brian and I were arguing it, and nobody else seemed to really jump in, so I didn't know if that was because you agreed with me or you didn't, but I'm curious. Like when we were talking about the Epstein thing, and we were talking about the teen girls that also drug people in and caused them to be victimized, and I said, and I stand by what I'm saying, I understand that it's a protective mechanism. I get it, but I think it's a character defect.
It is a character defect. There's something wrong with them.
If they have so little empathy or compassion, then go, protect me, fuck you. It's kind of like the quack throwing their baby in.
And here's the thing. It's not like they were two strangers and basically she made the decision, this has been being done to me for 2 years.
I'm done.
I'm going to sacrifice this person.
This was
so that I can get away from it.
Friends.
These were going, and not only that, it was multiples.
They were recruiting
it was like
their
they kept
own
going
friends.
and recruiting more people.
And let's face it, they weren't just doing it so that the abuse would stop for them. Because the one girl was like, "Oh no, they're not touching me. I'm not doing this. Bye." And he goes, "Well, will you bring other people? I'll pay you." And she's like, "Oh yeah." I mean,
there's
that's
nothing
not
wrong
saving yourself. That's a character defect. I don't give a shit. Okay, I was just curious about that.
And it's different if it was a small child who was raised and that's just what they knew.
Right.
Yeah.
These were
almost
teenagers.
grown girls.
Yeah,
they
knew better.
They were, seniors in high school. They were about to be out on the big bad world. And no, they were still children. It was still wrong. I'm not saying that they weren't victims, but the fact that they could justify saying, well, here's how I protect myself from it. I'm going to throw my friends to the wolves.
I mean, I wasn't saying anything because I understand some of these girls were doing it to try to protect themselves. But I also understand what they were doing was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I get that.
That's why I didn't say anything either, because I can.
I can see both ways.
I agree with both points because both points are totally valid.
I mean, I do.
Except for that one girl said, "I'm not doing anything with you." Oh yeah, I'll bring you.
No, she's just a piece.
That one.
Yeah, she's objectively a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it can be a coping mechanism, but I still think, I don't know. I think there are just two different types of people, and there are people that would cross that line and people that wouldn't.
Yeah, but see, he was also getting girls that were very poor.
This is true. So the
money was a big factor in it, which
he had.
Again, I can understand why they would do it. As much as I hate to say that, but still, I'm like Chris. I'm kind of like
both ways.
But absolutely, it was terrible what they did.
But you can kind of
understand why.
But hold on. Here's the thing, though, and let me preface this: fucking underage girls is wrong.
Yeah, underage prostitutes are called children.
Yeah, yeah. So that's wrong. Everybody knows.
Well, and I mean, they're not really prostitutes if you're not paying them, which I don't think.
He was paying them.
They were.
Yeah,
He was giving them
paying.
cash money.
But here's the thing: these girls weren't being tortured.
No,
So it's not like
they weren't being held.
Yeah, it's not like they were being beat 8 hours a day, and they were looking for a way to, oh my God, make it stop.
Yeah, like anything to make this torture stop.
They were going there willingly.
Yeah, they weren't
money.
being kidnapped and taken there. They were going.
It's not like they were under physical duress.
Yeah.
Right. And this was their only
They
way
were
out.
coming and
Right.
going, and
Like they were going to school.
So that's not a defense mechanism.
Right.
They were looking for a way. So that
that kind of negates that argument.
because just to me a
because
little
I
hard to
understand
think.
what he's saying. You know, I've seen cases where it could be a child of
So
a parent.
broken down psychologically.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, it's a child of a parent, and they're with that parent, and they're stuck at that home,
And they can't get away, and they can't make it stop.
They bring someone in, take
Kind
the
of like
attention
that,
off of them.
that one girl that was the munch. I can't think of her name right now. Gypsy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was some crazy shit. She was in a
Right.
You know,
right.
like
So that, if it was
yeah.
like that, okay, fine. But it wasn't.
Yeah, and here's what these girls, and this was on the net. I don't know what the other special, because I know there are more than one. This was the Netflix special.
I'm gonna watch the Netflix one and see if that's the one I'd already seen, or if it was
After
because I'm
you watch
confused.
Priscilla.
Yeah, no, we're watching Priscilla. But what I thought
Prudence.
What I thought was interesting is and this wasn't one girl said this. It was like in different interviews. It came up multiple times. Basically, they would just go sitting there in class. Hey, so you looking to make Christmas money? Yeah, oh yeah. Psh, I need Christmas money. Hey, I know where you can get some Christmas money. Really? What I gotta do? Oh, you gotta sexually massage an old dude. Mm-hmm. No, my people ain't getting nothing. Thanks. What the fuck? They knew. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying what he did was okay. Please, no. You should know me better than that. But these girls went there knowing what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
massaging old dudes.
And
But
to me, there's a distinction too between the ones that were underage and the ones that were adults.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand why they did it. I mean, if you were literally starving to death and someone said, hey, do this and I'll get you a hot meal,
But
you're
they
probably
weren't.
going to do it. I know, but they were poor. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, and I get
that
that.
money was very
Attractive.
Yeah.
We were poor growing up. Like that would.
Did you blow a bunch of old
No,
dudes?
I didn't blow.
But hold on.
Just you, baby.
But hold
Just
on.
you.
But let's say that you were poor growing up, and you got offered, hey, this guy will give you $5,000 if you jerk off this old dude.
But he was not giving them $5,000.
But you see what I mean, though.
Right? I do. I just
you know, it's a little lower sometimes for other people.
I just that was the part that bothered me is that I'm not saying the girls weren't victims because they were. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you do if you are sexual with a minor. That's a crime.
Well, yeah,
and
definitely.
it's wrong.
Yep.
But these girls, a lot of them knew what they were going there to do. Mm-hmm. They ahead of time. Mm-hmm. He didn't just roll over and here's my lipstick.
And they could have extrapolated what the end result was going to be.
Right.
Yeah, some of them were told it was just massage, and you might have to take your clothes off.
Yeah,
okay.
And then
red flag.
Yeah,
I mean, just
yeah, but even at that point, they could say, no, I'm not going to do that.
Because one did.
Yeah.
Remember that one? She was like, oh, I'm not doing that. And he was like, all right, will you bring me others? Yeah.
Yeah,
$200 a pop.
And yes, having sex with underage girls is wrong. But yeah, at the same time, it's not like they went there thinking they were going to have an ice cream party, and then
they weren't
all of a
being
sudden
drugged
their
by their
dicks out.
hair,
Yeah.
and
They weren't being drugged.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think.
No, they weren't.
A car would come pick them up, take them there. They'd go up there, do their thing, get in the car, and leave.
I
get
saw
dropped off back
one.
home.
They
with
showed
a handful of cash.
Yeah.
They showed a notepad, just like those while you're out notepads, and it was one of the girls calling and saying, "Can we reschedule your massage for instead of 2:30, 3:30 because I need to stay after school for a little bit and do something? Will that be okay?"
Yeah.
That's not coercion. It's wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a crime and it's wrong and it's perverse. But that's someone who is not being drugged onto the altar to be.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about it because if, again, sex with underage girls is wrong,
right?
But if I come to somebody and I'm recruiting them for fucking whatever it is, and I lay it all out, this is what I'm asking you to do. Here's what's going to be expected. Here's where it would happen. Here's how much I'll pay you. There's all the information. Take it or leave it. And they say, yeah, I'm okay. Right. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean...
because it sounds to me like they were given enough information to make a reasonably informed decision.
They were not... there might have been some of them, but this was...
It didn't sound like there was subversion going on.
This was an open secret in these girls' circles. Like, they all knew what was happening. One was like, got my friend... I decided it was her turn today, and I'm paraphrasing it. Basically, like, when it started getting like, time to take clothes off, I was like, peace, I'll be waiting outside. She knew, and they knew, and everyone knew, and it doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't make it not a crime, and he was definitely a disgusting, disgusting piece of shit. But he wasn't being dishonest.
It's not a crime as long as they're over 18, because everything... prostitution, I guess, is technically illegal. Yeah, all right, so depending on where you're at, that is a crime.
There was a number, a large number of them that were under 18.
I know, and all of that is wrong. But, and I'm speaking specifically for the over 18 people.
Yeah, and legality-wise.
They knew what they were getting into.
They knew what they were doing. They didn't get victimized.
No.
Like watching... And God knows, I always have empathy for, especially a victim but I was watching and I was really like having this internal dialogue with myself on some of them going, I'm sorry this happened, but you went into it with your eyes wide open.
I can really feel sorry for you.
Yeah. you were in that place.
They were consenting adults.
It was a transaction.
Yeah, between two consenting adults.
Yeah, and
that then got out of hand.
Like, I'm in over my head now, but that may be the case because they were like, well, then I felt like I couldn't get away. But he wasn't keeping them.
Yeah. I felt like I couldn't get away. That's how you felt, but you
the door wasn't locked.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't walk out. The door's wide the fuck open. Yes, you can. Yeah, you chose not to.
You get on planes and you go to other countries, so you could get away. So, like, those people, I had just I had a lot of feelings. Like, of course,
and it is conflicting feelings because Epstein was a piece of shit and the world's better without him.
Absolutely.
The problem was they didn't want to get away from that money.
Right. They were getting something from the transaction. They were getting something they could not get without him. Because let's face it, they weren't jerking off a poor old dude. They were jerking off a billionaire. And that's why. That's the difference. They were like, well, I could jerk off bums or I could jerk off a billionaire. Well, what you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. I could jerk my boyfriend off for free, or I could jerk off this CEO and make a couple of $1,000 for 10 minutes.
Or he put some of them through college, college abroad, art school.
I mean,
and then at the same time,
it doesn't sound like that bad of a gig.
At the same.
No, I don't want to. I have very rough hands.
But these
maybe
same,
he likes it rough.
These same women, and they were women at the time, and they are women now that are saying this. Like, one of them's like, he raped me, and
it's not rape if you go into it voluntarily.
I feel so shitty, but I want to go. Did he though?
Yeah.
Because people throw that around as
that's a word you don't just say.
I didn't feel good about myself the next day. That's not fucking rape.
That's regret, and they're two different things.
Yeah, that's buyer's remorse, not rape.
That's not the same.
So
everybody has done things that they're like, I wish I hadn't have done that. But that doesn't mean that it was forced upon you. It just means you made a bad choice.
Yeah, we're both of y'all consenting at the time. Yeah. It does not matter if 5 minutes after you're done, I wish I hadn't done that. Fucking sorry.
I feel a little dirty.
Yeah, don't care. Doesn't make this any less consensual.
It's just, the whole time we watched that, I just had all these really conflicting feelings. So, I'd be interested to see, because every bit of this was from the victim's point of view, both the adult and the child victims, and it was just so... That was the thing.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, the other one was on what?
There's been one on Lifetime, and there's been one on ID, and then Netflix.
I'm almost positive it's Netflix that I watched.
Was there... Okay. This will